One of the most powerful principles of reality, which have the power to completely transform our lives forever, is the parallel universe theory. This great transformation doesn't involve a specific technique or strategy that requires action. This principle is related to the person you want to become. Bill Gates once said, "If you are born poor, it's not your fault, but if you die poor, it is your fault." So anything that happened in our previous lives in the past, we can't really change. We can only choose what comes next. So now let's begin with a deeper understanding of identity shifting. What it is, why it's so important, and how it shapes this particular sector of reality that you're experiencing. Okay, let's begin with an understanding of all space. Basically, things that are out of your control, which is not something you need to worry about. We can only choose the thoughts, actions, decisions, intentions that we make today, which will unfold tomorrow. So remember that the present is continually becoming the past. There is no point worrying about what's happened in the past and trying to change it. That is the most futile thing you can do. The best thing you can do is learn and use the lessons to shape tomorrow. So this particular reality is being manifested in accordance with our thoughts, actions, beliefs, emotions that we feel, identity, worldview that we hold to be true. So let's get a deeper understanding of what's shaping this particular reality, why you're experiencing this current reality, and why you're not experiencing a certain other reality. At the most surface level, what it appears is that our actions that we take are influencing what we are experiencing. So if I do X, I get Y result. So this is why most of mankind is focused on taking action. Please understand this. The action is being caused by the predominant thoughts and feelings that we have. Thoughts plus feeling. An unconscious being continuously reacts to his or her fears and desires based on what they think and feel every day. Right? So there's certain things within us that can drive us to action. Please understand why it's called emotion. It's called emotion because it's energy in motion. It has the power to move us to action. So if we feel anxious about something, then it'll make us do something to get rid of the anxiety, right? Most of mankind is driven by fear because when most people want to start up a business, for example, they have a lot of pain in their current situation. They don't want to be stuck and chained to a 9-to-5, going to a cubicle listening to some orders. They don't want to do that. They feel trapped. And when the pain gets strong enough, it drives us into action, right? So that's when we go out and do something to get away from the pain. But when we focus on our fears and pains, we get more pains and fears, right? That's why 99% of people never get over their fears and pains. So instead, people don't understand how to shift that focus from pain and fear to desire and what I want to create. And because of that, they create more of these situations. But there is something that shapes what we think and feel on a daily basis. Can you guess what that is? It's the beliefs that we hold to be true. Now, there's two categories of beliefs. There's beliefs that we have about ourselves, and there's beliefs that we have about the world around us. Okay, the world and self are our categories. Thoughts are simply lighter forms of beliefs. But a belief is a little bit stronger, right? It's a little more sticky. It's something that we've been conditioned with as we grow up. We tend to question it less. So when you really believe something, you're almost operating from that belief. When the belief gets a little bit stronger, guess what it becomes? It becomes a conviction. A conviction is something we will never question, right? This is our model of reality. If someone were to question it, we would just be confused. We never question these convictions that we hold to be true. So please understand this: thought is the lowest level of a belief. Belief is the mid-level of a belief. And conviction is the strongest form of belief that we will never question. So initially, it begins with a thought. An idea comes to you. Someone says something. Maybe someone says, "Oh, your handwriting is terrible." And then you start to think about it, and you feel anxious about it, and you feel insecure about it. When a thought and a feeling come together, it becomes a belief. When it becomes a belief, then you kind of believe it. Eventually, though, it becomes a conviction as you gain more proof of it. Then you really believe your handwriting is bad. You really believe you're not good at making money. You really believe that you're destined to be lonely and you're not good enough. And you're not confident enough to do what you want. You're not confident enough to ask for that raise or be a business owner, right? So all of these always begin with the thought. Most people can't intercept the thought. So these convictions are what's shaping everything, right? It's shaping the belief that we have, the thoughts that we think, the feelings that we feel, and ultimately the actions that we take. Within the subsect of conviction, the two most important parts are the worldview that we hold and the identity that we have. At the core level, our identity is what shapes even our worldview. So the lowest level of all that's shaping everything that we're experiencing in our lives right now is the identity, how we view ourselves in relation to our worlds. We're getting to something. So when you have a certain belief about yourself, it causes you to believe the world in a certain way. If you believe, hey, I'm not an entrepreneur, I just don't think entrepreneurially. Unless you're an entrepreneur yourself, you may think that now is not the right time to start a business. And if you believe that, then all of the thoughts and feelings will be in that same line, which will influence the actions that you take. So if you don't believe that you are a good entrepreneur or you're worthy of being a successful entrepreneur, when you try to become an entrepreneur, guess what's going to happen? You're going to do it half-heartedly. And because of that, your reality will be shaped a certain way. So this particular sector of reality that we're experiencing right now is a direct reflection of the core-most level that influences our reality, which is identity. Once you learn to shift your identity consciously and choose who you want to be at a certain stage in your life, then you can become that self. Then your reality starts to manifest as well. So this particular sector of reality that's being manifested is a result of our thoughts and our feelings. But our thoughts and feelings are influenced by who we see ourselves as. During my childhood, I was bullied a lot at school, and I believed that was all I was worth. So I thought I was unworthy. The way I looked and the way I was attractive weren't good. I wasn't wealthy or anything. And so I'm worthy of getting bullied. And so I would take the bullying without standing up for myself. But one day, the pain got strong enough, and I said, I'm going to change. I'm going to put on some muscle. And that was my first entry into personal development. I started going to the gym. And what's interesting is when I was taking the action of going to the gym and improving myself, I started to believe that I'm becoming better and better every single day. And as a result of that, I started thinking different thoughts. And as a result of that, when the thoughts got stronger and I started to see more conviction of me getting stronger, I started to believe it. I am getting better. I am becoming more attractive. And then I started to see myself slowly. I started to see myself differently. And then finally, I used to have really crooked teeth when I was a kid, and I was super insecure about that. So my mom finally got me braces. And when my teeth straightened and I took off my braces, I literally became a different person overnight. This is why when people go through an appearance change, they literally shift their identity and they experience a new reality. A book where I first learned this from, and when I first realized this, was Psycho-Cybernetics, where he talks about how the author, Maxwell Maltz, talks about how he was a cosmetic surgeon. And when he gives people a cosmetic, like a completely different face, they start to make more money. They start to do things they never thought were possible. It's because every single day we're wearing a mask. You're wearing a mask that gets you certain things in your reality, and therefore you act in accordance with that. We're all actors in a movie. What role do you want to play? The reason why you're not successful, why you don't have the things that you want, is because you're not the hero of your movie. That's the problem, right? You have to start to view yourself as the hero of your own story. You have to see yourself as powerful. You have to see yourself as the one who's capable. When you're just focused on having something, you focus on, oh, what can I have? What can I have? And this is where most people become apathetic because they're like, oh, I can't have it. There's no point in even trying, because even if I were to try, there's no point doing it because I won't have it. The level above that is doing when you do something to have something. And the highest level is being who we are. Being influenced by the actions that we take influences the results that we have. Having, doing, being. And this is what this is. We're focusing on having the reality of doing something to get it, and then being. All of this is centered around being the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, and the convictions that we hold to be true. Your mission is just simply to shift your identity, to choose who you want to be at different stages in your life. Because at every single stage, an identity becomes limiting. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with being who you are right now. Because if you want to experience what you're experiencing, then being who you are is perfect. But if you want to experience something different, then the identity that you choose has to be in alignment with your desire. Is that making sense? What do you want? You must be who you must be, who you need to be in order to attract what you want. Many approach goals without true understanding. Identity shifting isn't about becoming someone else. It's authentically becoming more you. Shed societal conditioning and emphasize your true qualities. I've tried various techniques, but the key is shifting perception through your identity. It's the big domino that influences all. Ensure clarity, intellectually, emotionally about what you want, and what you want to move away from. Know the why emotionally. Most think they know what they want, but true clarity involves both intellect and emotion. Start by identifying what you want to move away from and what you want instead. Know the deepest pain in your life and flip it to envision what you desire. Understand the identity you must become to effortlessly live that version of yourself. Your vision is a potential quantum event waiting to be experienced. Your infinite self has access to all possible parallel realities. Once you grasp who, what, why, the how and when naturally fall into place. Set goals in wealth, health, relationships, and spirituality. Act to gain clarity and let the path reveal itself. Set compelling goals that excite you but are realistic. List reasons why each goal is important, focusing on the associated feelings. Identify who you must become to achieve each goal, incorporating characteristics and improvements. Embrace continuous improvement through the Japanese concept of Kaizen. Take daily actions aligned with your goals and evolving identity. Grow by consistently resonating with the reality you aim to manifest. Implement continual improvement actions for each goal, such as 13 minutes of daily meditation for spirituality and 1 hour daily business-related activities. Create a tracking system with columns for goal, category, why, who, and Kaizen action. Recognize the emergence of the old self during the journey and understand it stems from conditioning. Strengthen the new self by embracing discomfort and challenges. Acknowledge that discomfort signifies growth and positive change. Embrace the discomfort, challenge, and fear as indicators of progress and transformation. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care and see you soon.